LEGO is sounding more and more like Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again song by the day, and they just can't get out of their own way. That's right, the title is not clickbait, but it is clickable. The LEGO Star Wars Summer 2022 ATTE might just be delayed. So to set the stage for the terrible news I'm about to deliver, we should talk about the past instances where this has happened and LEGO's shortcomings with their product delivery for certain sets. In the summer of 2020, COVID pushed back the File First Battle Pack, understandable, but it did still release on August 1st in European countries. It was just delayed in North America, and so that was unfortunate. All the summer sets were. It's not like it's just the File First Battle Pack, but again, very highly fan-demanded set, and following that, the set was very hard to find for probably 5 or 6 months. So underproducing the clone sets, right? The lesson should have been learned right there and then. Of course, last year, the UCS gunship, I think, was relatively easy to get. I don't think there was a huge fiasco with the availability of that set, but of course early 2022 comes around and we have the clone minifig pack. It was originally slated to come out on January 1st, and then LEGO, without telling anyone, because that is what they do best, they don't tell anyone, pushed the release date back, and nothing. Like, we never knew what happened or why, but it eventually came out after about 2 weeks. It was like January 15th or 16th, I think, that it finally came onto LEGO.com and finally started showing up at some LEGO stores. But LEGO, of course, the whole time never communicating with their fans, despite this $15 minifig pack being highly desired by many. And it absolutely should be noted that this set was impossible to find as well following its release. It sold out nearly immediately. It came back in stock a time or two for maybe a few hours at a time, selling out immediately, and was out of stock for months on end until recently it came back in stock for about a day and is now gone for who knows how long again. Clearly these clone sets sell. And then, of course, we get into the April timeframe of this year with the Republic fighter tank, of course, with clone troopers, many people very much desiring it. That set released on, I think, April 26th, and of course sold out immediately on lego.com and maybe target.com and at LEGO stores. And then we didn't see it for 2 months, just completely gone off the face of the earth. For some reason, they didn't quite comprehend that people might buy a lot of these, even though the last few times they had released clone sets, people bought a lot of them, and so that set took literally 2 months to show up on Target store shelves, despite being a Target store exclusive in the United States, which I find frankly unacceptable, and I would think most people do too. Then, of course, now here we are in summer of 2022. You would think some lessons have been learned about producing enough product, especially with the clone sets, especially with something like Commander Cody that fans have been demanding for a couple of years now. I caught wind of this about a week ago, before LEGO updated their LEGO.com release date, but the LEGO.com release date that I'm about to show you puts the nail in the coffin, where essentially I had some different people messaging me that work at different stores across the US, and they were like, hey, we've been hearing we're not going to be getting a lot of ATTEs, which is a bad sign if the ATTE is being singled out, obviously. One person that works at a toy store even DM'd me and said that it is completely absent from their August 1st release drop. So the ATTE, as we expected, would be hard to come by. It might be impossible to come by if you live in North America, if this person is correct. And seeing the corroborating information I've been getting from other sources and the lego.com listing changing from August 1st to coming soon, it seems very much like that is going to be the case. Good luck finding one, everyone. Then the other day I get a DM from someone that's like, hey, the ATTE release date changed on lego.com, and I'm like, nah, you're just, I don't know. Like, I get a lot of weird messages sometimes, and, like, I just think people are messing with me, or, like, they don't know what they're looking at, so, I take a cursory glance, and, sure enough, it says coming soon in the United States. And then I looked at all the other Star Wars sets on lego.com, and they all say that they're coming on August 1st. They are all still got their proper release date of August 1st. The ATTE, of course, being singled out here. Are we surprised at this point? No. Is it still disappointing? Of course. And so I looked across the pond at Europe and Australia to see what their countries said they had for release dates. In Great Britain, of course, August 1st. We have Australia at August 1st, and we have Germany at August 1st. So it seems like it's not delayed in other regions. And I think this is big because this says that it is a specific US problem for this one specific set, of course, because why wouldn't it be? But one of the theories that had been presented to me by someone I was talking to, and that I thought was a very good legitimate theory until I looked at the other countries that still have it coming on August 1st, is that they were delaying the sets because the prints of the 212th troopers in the set were shifted down and looked really, really terrible. Like, all of the clone troopers had basically really bad misprints on their helmets that were, just not accurate or proper to what they're advertising that you're going to get in the set. And so some people were basically suggesting that that was the reason, and I subscribed to that theory for a short while, and I think that theory is just obviously not the theory that's true at this point. Like, if it's coming out in other countries with the shifted down prints on the helmets, then why wouldn't it come out in the US the same way they're going to release it anywhere else? So of course that's not it. The unfortunate reality is, in all these cases throughout the past couple of years, LEGO has made no attempt to communicate with the fan base, no attempt to say, hey, this is what's happening. They just sometimes change things on their websites to say coming soon, which is pretty ambiguous. It doesn't really tell you anything. You know, some people might look at that and think, hey, they're going to release it early. That's not what's going to happen. They are delaying the set. So what I think we as fans could best do is go to lan.lego.com, and if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, it will say contact LAN admin, and fill out your information and leave them a message about what your concerns are, because this is, I think, better than LEGO customer service. This is going directly to someone who is supposed to be working with the community to help fix community issues and speak directly with the community ambassadors, which they don't do very well or very often, so I figured I would bring the community to them in today's video, because I'm quite frankly tired of things like this happening. It is a real dang shame that everyone in America, Canada, Mexico, possibly other countries, we don't know at this point, it still does say August 1st, but there's still time for them to delay it in your country too, don't worry. You know, getting stuff delayed on them. This is not fair, it's not right, it's especially not right. Like, I understand things happen, but I think it is incredibly wrong for things to happen and LEGO not to go, hey guys, something happened, we got to delay the factory, whatever. Like, at the very least, it would just mean a lot, right? And they have never done that. Even when I was in the LEGO Ambassador Network, they never did anything like that. Like, there was no communication ever. So I think it's best if we communicate directly with them. Voice your concern cordially, of course. That's all I have for you guys today. It is very unfortunate news, but it is something that I guess at this point we shouldn't not expect, because it just keeps happening. So remember, go ahead and communicate with LEGO directly with the link in the description below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and are upset that LEGO is delaying the ATTE, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.